We will call this dream the zombies at the beach. I had this dream in the beginning of 2012. And what it was, there was a house building of some sort. It was on a beach. It was in the south of the United States. And I can't tell you, East Coast, Gulf Coast, I can't tell you. But all I know is on a beach. And this house was like a stucco style stone house of some sort. And you drove up through a big roundabout drive to get to the house or building. There was when I drove up, there was a bunch of cars there, and they were all just there. There was no commotion, no people, nothing going on. I pulled up in a vehicle, don't know what type of vehicle it was. All I remember is getting out of the vehicle, and I started walking up the steps to the entrance of this house or building. And like I said, it was like some type of sandstone type of building with a whole bunch of windows going around, French doors in the front, but all the windows and everything was all blown out. The doors were laying on the ground. And I walk in, and as you walk into the main area, it's I guess you would expect of some sort of mansion or something like that, where there's very fancy ornate tile all over the floor, and there was a fountain in the middle. But the fountain was dry. It was empty. And there was stuff just thrown all over the place, like somebody had gone through and ransacked it. There was a table off to the side where there was food, but the food looked all spoiled, and there's flies all over it. Like nobody ever ate any of the food. It was kind of peculiar and odd. I kept on walking on through onto the back portico, which was a fancy tile once again. And when I got out on the back porch, I looked out over the ocean and noticed that all the water was black. Just black. And the sun hadn't gone down yet. It wasn't even close to sunset. It was like maybe mid-afternoon. But all the water was black. And it was lapping up on the beach. It was black. It was like almost like it was oil instead of water. And it was everywhere. It wasn't just particular spot. It was all the water, the whole ocean. So I go out and I look, and then after seeing the water, I look down, I look around, and there was bodies all over the beach. And everybody that was on the beach, all these bodies, and I presumed they were dead. Because there was some that were decapitated, there were some that were missing a limb, or other things were wrong with them. And, but they were all in fancy dress attire, almost like they were dressed for like a funeral or a wedding of some sort. So I proceeded to go down on the beach to investigate, and I'm in a tuxedo. Black tuxedo, white shirt, black bow tie. I had a hat on. I had sunglasses on. I could see myself in this dream too, which was odd. And I also had a cane. And as I walked down onto the beach, I started looking around, noticing that all the blood that people had bled out was also black. And it was very dry. It was dry on the beach. And it was just, like I said, everybody was wearing black. It was like almost more like a funeral. And then I walk over to this one mound that is out on the beach. It was a sand mound, like 2 or 3 feet above the rest of the beach. And I walk over to it and I look around. And someone that I presumed was dead popped their head up. And they're like, "What are you doing here? Why are you here? You should not be here." And then another person popped their head up and said something similar. And at that point, I took my cane, I dropped my jacket that I had on, the tuxedo jacket. I dropped it, and I took my cane and I started using it almost like a conductor's wand, and started almost like conducting music, but there was no music. And all of a sudden, a lot of the bodies started to move. And then I heard another voice say, "You need to stop this. You're not supposed to be here." And I just kept doing it, and bodies started to move and stand up, and that was it. That was the end of the dream.